Okay, Mateo. So, Lakers Pelicans just wrapped it as a Friday night. Seems like we
hmm
did a fantastic job here. I think we won by 17 points or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, tell us what's up, man.
Lakers win their fifth straight in a row, man. The team is finally in a rhythm. After that, that bad Spurs loss where AD called out the team on defense, the whole team listened, and they've converted that to five straight wins, and that's amazing. Granted, they aren't teams that are really amazing. You got the Rockets twice, who were falling apart from Harden. Who do we play? The Thunder, and also who do we play tonight? The Pelicans. So not exactly forces of nature, but still, you want to rack up the wins where you can. You want to beat the teams you're supposed to beat, and also you want to beat them how you're supposed to beat them. So they've demolished these teams by like 20 points. The offenses look great for the most part, and the defense is really what's been really consistent too. I'll just give a quick game recap in case you didn't catch it. So in the first quarter, basically, the Lakers couldn't get their shot to fall, and the Pelicans were like, oh, great, you're not going to make shots? Well, we're going to make 8 of 9. We're going to make 8 of our first 9 shots.
Wow.
So sometimes teams get hot like that. They'll be excited to play a good team.
Lonzo was out, right? Just to clarify, Lonzo was out.
Lonzo didn't play, that's right.
Okay.
Nickeil Alexander-Walker played in the point guard slot, I believe. So they basically couldn't get their shot to fall. The Pels ended up winning that quarter 28-20. They essentially shot lights out, and they should have been up by more, but turnovers kind of kept the Lakers in it. And that ended up being a theme for the rest of the game. The Lakers just kept getting second chance opportunities because the Pelicans kept turning it over. And then, let's see. Lakers went on a run in the second half of the quarter, got it down by 1 at halftime. And they were down by, I don't know, like freaking 10 most of the quarter, it felt. Jeez. But that's how good teams roll, man. We're a really good team, just like top to bottom. We got a lot of depth. And even though we couldn't get our shot to fall, we ended up only being down 1 at the half. And I was just kind of laughing. I'm like, you guys played like shit. And then you ended up just being only down 1 at halftime because they decided to turn it on. So that's going to be a big theme this year. You're going to see some games where they come out kind of sluggish, like, all right, let's get some shots up, whatever. But hey, only getting down by 1 at halftime, that's the best you could do. Going to the third, the Lakers kind of took control. They got a 10-point lead in the third. The defense really tightened up, and LeBron started playing really hard. LeBron's energy and KCP, our boy, started just draining threes like Ray Allen out there. So I think those are the two big things that quarter. Not Ray Allen, KCP and LeBron's energy. And then we get to the fourth, and the Lakers just kind of figure out their offense. Earlier in the game, they were kind of just standing around, just not knowing what they were doing, just kind of watching people dribble the ball. But they started moving around, and guys like Alex Caruso started penetrating, getting into the paint, getting guys like Montrezl Harrell free for really good dunks in the paint. And they ended up just kind of taking it home there. I'd say by the 5-minute mark of the fourth quarter, that's when the game felt like it was over. So Lakers wrapped it up. They won 112-95, and just a really solid win over the Pelicans. And since Anthony Davis has been a Laker, we are undefeated against them. So
wow, that's a great fact. That's awesome.
We swept them last year, 4 straight, and our first play against them this year, we get the win. And that feels good for AD. I'm sure he's got love for some of his old teammates there, but he wants to beat his old team, of course. So,
who are his old teammates there? Because that team got rearranged also.
That is a good point. When I think of his old teammates, I think of Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
And his coach was Alvin Gentry, I think, at the time, who's not even there anymore.
Oh, really? Who coaches the Pels?
I think it's maybe Monty Williams. I actually want to look this up.
Interesting. That was a great recap. I want to ask you a couple.
Stan Van Gundy, they just hired him. My bad.
Oh, no.
Stan Van Gundy's the coach now, who I think is a really smart coach. He's pretty good on some podcasts. If you ever catch the Zach Lowe podcast, really good high IQ X's and O's guy. So if you ever get the chance to listen to Stan Van Gundy on a podcast, I highly recommend that.
Wasn't SVG like okay, don't murk me here, but was he the Pistons coach? I have no idea. Who did he coach?
He was the Pistons coach for a bit.
Okay.
I almost forgot. Like he was known for being the Orlando coach when Dwight was there. They made it to the finals.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, definitely didn't know that, but I remember him from back in the day. My God.
And he actually coached Shaq and Wade.
Really?
Yeah, he coached
Wow.
when Shaq first went to the Heat in like '04 or whatever. He coached, I think, 10 games for him. And then Shaq called him a master of panic. And then Pat Riley, who was the old Lakers coach and GM, he steps down and says, like, sorry, Stan, I'm the coach now. And then they end up winning the championship.
I remember that. Yeah. I
So
remember when.
that was Stan, the ups and downs of Stan Van Gundy. But I think he's a solid coach. I think he's going to do some good things in New Orleans, man.
Well, that's dope. I mean, the better the coach, the better the win for us then. Let me ask you, who was the star of the game?
Star of the game, to me, it felt like probably LeBron.
Oh,
I
wow.
don't think he even had a really amazing game. Yeah, look at our stat lines. Our highest scoring player was LeBron. He had 21 points, 11 assists, 8 rebounds, and he was plus 14 and plus minus. Anthony Davis, he shot like shit. He was 5 of 16 from the floor. His jumper just couldn't fall. Didn't you take him in fantasy? Oh, no, you didn't take him in fantasy.
I didn't end up taking him, but I gotta. Yeah, I don't want to talk about fantasy because I took old Giannis. Giannis just decided to. I don't know. He's
To
like,
miss
yeah,
9 of 10 free throws.
yeah, that was great. But that's really cool. LeBron had
Anthony
a kind of.
Davis, even though he was 17 points, 5 of 16, he was still plus 20 in his plus minus. That means the team was still winning when he was on the floor.
Yeah, that's insane. Can you tell me what's up with this? I think this is like a Lakers fan. It's like something between you guys, but what's up with Alex Caruso? What's up with the love for this dude? What is he doing exactly? I just
Alex
don't
Caruso,
know.
the love for this dude, I'll tell you what the love for this dude is. He does all the little things that lead to something great happening. So when LeBron's usually handling the ball, look for Alex to be really active off ball. He's trying to get cuts. And he's just a really high IQ player who he's not the kind that needs the ball in his hands to thrive. And last year, it kind of became a narrative because in the pairing of him and LeBron, it was one of the highest net ratings, which I don't know exactly how that's calculated, but net rating is an important statistic to look at when seeing how effective players are. And the LeBron Caruso net rating was the highest, like the highest in the league for a little bit. Basically, LeBron plays really well with short guys who are really good, defensive threats and just do the hard work off ball, kind of like Matthew Dellavedova did for a bit in Cleveland. Remember him? He that was
a little bit.
kind of filled a similar role to that. Alex, he's really good defensively, but offensively, his handle's not the best, and he's super athletic, but offensively, he's not exactly top level. But a good development this year is his three ball is starting to fall. He's shooting 53% on the year, which is insane. Don't expect him to keep that up, but that's kind of the essential role player skill set. You play good defense, you make threes, and then you do all the little things off ball to kind of make your team better. He had big moments in the playoffs, man. He hit a go-ahead three-pointer in one of the games in the Houston series. I believe it was a game-stealing three-pointer. And he also made kind of game-saving defensive plays. And not to mention, Game 6 against the Heat in the finals, the game that we won the championship, that was the first time that Frank Vogel decided to start Alex Caruso. And look what happens when you start Alex Caruso. You start him and you win the championship and you win it by 30. So that's just kind of like, that's the Alex Caruso resume. Teams are getting really hip to his value, I'd say. During the trade deadline last year, teams are kind of being like, hey, what about Alex Caruso for this prospect? And I forget what the exact deals were, but you could tell that teams were like, oh, shit, this guy's like kind of a good player. We should try and steal him from the Lakers. But thankfully, Rob Pelinka is a really good GM, so he didn't give in. And they're gonna keep calling because he's a good guy. He's a good player. But I really hope we hold on to him. I believe his contract is running up soon, so they got to make the decision whether to pay him or not. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We got this year to look forward to. We got another championship level team, and I think it's gonna end the best way possible. So that's pretty much sums up Alex Caruso there. Yeah.
Honestly, it is kind of selfish to keep him. He could probably thrive somewhere else, get more minutes, and become like semi-all-star.
It's up to him. I don't know his exact contract details, but if a guy has given his all like that to us and he wants to make some money, then I wouldn't be mad at him,
Yeah, I wonder sometimes, but he's probably an asset to us still, even though we have monsters on our team and stuff.
He totally is. Kuz is kind of like that too. Kuz is a guy I wonder, like, If
He
he was
fell
on a
off,
different team,
man.
if
He
he was
fell
on a
off.
different team, he'd be getting a lot more shots, and his offensive game might be a little further along. But on this team, he's got a very limited role, and he's kind of being asked to like, look, just spot up, be really active off ball, and get rebounds, which is a really good development in this game, in his game. I wanted to talk about Kuzma because lately he's been rebounding the hell out of the ball. He had 13 rebounds tonight, dude.
Wow.
And he's a big guy technically. He's 6'8", 6'9", but he's never been a rebounder. He's always been like a finesse scorer guy. But he sees that, okay, what do I need to do when I'm on the floor? If my shot's not falling, I got to contribute in some way. So the last couple games, he's been rebounding the hell out of the ball. And that's a really good development to see him go from not being that much of a rebounder to realizing, oh, this is going to help the team win. So let's go.
That's really dope. Honestly, I think that the Lakers, if we do win another one, it'll just be interesting to see like I don't know, like will it always be AD and LeBron like doing all the work, or can like I don't know, can Kuzma rise to the occasion and stuff? Because it just feels like Kuzma's like I get what you're saying, like if he was on another team he'd shine, but I don't know, something about that guy is like isn't it only his like second, third year, something like that though? So
It's his third or fourth year. Yeah.
wow. Okay. Yeah, man. We got a great team. This is pretty badass. So
I know. Even when garbage time rolls around, man, it's like, okay, who do we got for garbage time? They're bringing like, okay, fucking Marc Gasol,
oh
freaking
wow.
like Markieff Moore, like who's coming for garbage time? And it all depends on the matchup. Maybe Markieff is better in a certain matchup, so they'll play him a little bit more. But yeah, it's funny, man. Even during garbage time, they roll out a team, and it's like, wow, this is still a pretty solid team. We're not even trying right now. Yeah, man.
Did you catch the Clipper game by chance?
I did not catch the Clipper game. Were you able to catch it?
I wasn't. Let me see who won real quick. I like when we win and they lose on the same night. That's always pretty cool.
I love that. Yeah.
They were playing SAC though, so they had kind of like a cupcake matchup. Let's see here.
Oh, they whipped them 138 to 100.
Oh my god! All
Did
right.
Paul George go off again? Because he tends to do
Probably.
that.
I know Lou was
He
out.
had
26,
and Kawhi had 27. So
that's just a weak little duo they got over there. They ain't doing nothing. Not to us.
I really thought they'd be better, man. I was legit surprised to see him choke against the Nuggets like that. But I don't know. I just had a feeling. My good friend Andre, I was before the season started. I'm like, dude, the Clippers look kind of good. He's like, they're gonna clip it up somehow.
Clip it up.
And then right when they choked against the Nuggets, he like sent me that, and he's like, they're gonna clip it up somehow. I'm like,
that's right, genius.
Yeah, they're kind of cursed, man. But I would kind of take them a little more seriously this year, to be honest, just because they're coming off a giant embarrassment like that. You know, you'd think that would motivate them to be okay. We are vulnerable. Let's be more focused and let's give everything we can to this instead of being like, oh, we're up 3-1. Doesn't matter if we lose this one. You know, I think they're kind of scarred from that. So I still think we could beat them. We're still the better team and we got the championship experience. But I would believe they're a little more dangerous than last year. So
you think Kawhi will ever get another ring?
He's young. It's possible. I hope he doesn't get one while our title window is going on, but he's got the talent to be in the conversation, man.
Interesting. This was awesome, dude. So another blowout one for the Lakers. Who we got next?
Who we got? Dude, we got the Warriors coming up next on Monday. Martin Luther King Day is usually a big day in the NBA community. So usually they put really good games. It's basically like Christmas Day Part 2. They'll put up the matchups that the world wants to see. They probably thought that Clay was going to be playing, but, you know, he got that ACL injury, which is so tragic. So we got Lakers-Warriors on Monday. Really looking forward to that game just because of the LeBron-Steph dynamic. LeBron,
we're going to smash him. Yeah, we're going to smash him. I mean,
we should win against, like, we should win like 138-100, but you know, maybe Steph will come out. It'll be one of those games, but you never know. I've
actually been watching them though.
On the side of us smashing them, I'm with you.
Yeah, I've been watching them a little bit. Steph just, I don't know, man. Steph ain't who, like, I don't know. We'll see. Just my feeling though. I don't think Steph's the same. Trey ain't either. It's weird.
I think so, but they could definitely have moments where they're like, oh shit.
For sure.
But we should demolish them. We should be winning 6 straight, and then then we'll be dealing with the enemies from there, man.
Absolutely, bro. This was awesome. Thanks so much, Mateo.
For sure, man. Good talking to you.
See ya.